When you're ready to start to cast on the mystery yokealong, we'll be beginning with the contrast color, and we'll cast on at the base of the neck, and we'll add the neckband later. The reason being that if there's for any reason any trouble with how the yoke fits, or how it's or it sits differently on your shoulders, because everybody's body is different, you have the chance to fix that or make adjustments when you're doing the neckband. So that's why I always like to add the neckband at the very end. And for that reason, we need to pick a cast on that allows us to pick up stitches easily and knit in the other direction when we're ready to add the neckband. My choice is the long tail cast on, because I find it that for me it's quite easy to pick up stitches along that, but you could go with a provisional cast on or whatever other cast on you like. And if you already know that you are unlikely to want to add a neckband because you love wide necks, then you have the chance to go for a decorative cast on as well. This pattern is graded so that no size has a huge gaping neckline, and without a neckband it would work well if you prefer the wider ones. So I will leave a tail enough for my stitch count and simply use the long tail cast on. And I've also suggest to use the smaller needles for this portion. It will create a tighter gauge and it will prevent the neck from stretching out as you wear the sweater. But also the first few rows of the color work chart will be in a pattern that stretches the fabric widthwise. So it will be, it's basically garter stitch, as you can see. So we want to counteract that by using slightly smaller needles. We need to cast on the required number of stitches that is specified for your size in the pattern. And once we've done that, we'll be joining in the round. I've cast on the full count of my neckline stitches, and I'm ready to join in the round. In case you do not use 2 needles to cast on, then you don't need to do this step, but I like how much easier it is to work the first round and how much easier it is to pick up stitches if I've used 2 needles to cast on my stitches. So, and I will need to pull out one of them. This is always a bit tricky. I'm not quite sure which cable to pull on, but eventually it all happens. So then I like to fold it in half and make a loop right there in the middle, well, approximately middle. I'm not going to count stitches to be precisely in the middle, and it doesn't also doesn't matter. So then I can align the needles next to each other, and before I begin working, I have to make sure that I am seeing the nice, neat right side of the cast on all the way around, and that they're not twisted anywhere. And it's very easy to do when you've got them aligned like this. So on that one I'm seeing purl bumps, so that's all good because the wrong side is inside the circle. And I will place the beginning of round marker on that needle that I will work with. So that's this right hand needle. While still holding it all together so it doesn't change orientation, because it's very, very easy for things to get twisted here. So I have to hold with all my might that nothing changes, and make sure I pick up the strand that's attached to the ball otherwise I'll run out of yarn in no time. And knit a few stitches, pulling quite tight there because I don't want there to be too much slack, and because I don't want this marker to be dangling here, I'll pull the needle out again so that the marker is positioned between stitches on the cable and not on the loop, and continue working in the round all the way to the beginning of round marker, as the pattern says to knit one round. And then we'll begin something called short rows.